it's the Munster Cast. Welcome to the show, we got a blast from the past. Yeah, it's the Munster Cast, you know what it is. Hit like, hit follow, subscribe to the biz. Leave a comment, share, let your thoughts fly.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters adjacent. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host, who is looking really freaked out for a second. Tivis, how you doing today, dude?
I'm doing good. You just started speaking before the music ended this time, and I was like, what is going on?
Did I? I don't think I did. I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see him play back. All right, guys. How you been, dude?
I'm good. I got my Captain America ugly ass steelbook.
Okay, the artwork, you mean, right?
Yes. Look at this. It's so like when Sony's
It's
terrible
basic.
movies are doing better artwork than you're doing something wrong, Disney. Spend some money.
It does look pretty basic, for sure. I'll say that.
It's so bad.
Yeah. What is that? This Brave New World. I don't know if I had that one already or not.
It just came out as we record.
Okay.
For everyone else, I hope you had a good Memorial Day if you're American, and if not, I hope you just had a good week.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let's dive on into the dirty business.
Okay.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram via TheMunsterCast and any other social media platform you may be on that we are on. You can just search The Munster Cast. You can find our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. That's youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. You can also go to our website and find all of our content in one simple place, guys. That is www.themunstercast.com. www.themunstercast.com. You can also click on the little microphone icon on the right hand side of the screen over there and leave us a voice message, as well as going and clicking on the store tab or just going into the munstercast.com/merch link, and that will take you directly to our merchandise shop no matter who we change vendors to in the future. So always do that, guys. You can also email us all your Munster questions, your fandom, all of that stuff, anything Munster related, your stories of your Munster like love, all that stuff, guys, to TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. You can also, of course, do all of this through social media messaging as well too. So
yeah, we do a surprising amount through Instagram.
Oh yeah. We get a lot of hits on Instagram from fans and of the Munsters and everything else. So definitely. All right, Tivis, what else?
Well, it's got a Patreon. Those of you who help support us through that, help keep the website running, the RSS feeds flowing, and this video version of the podcast going. So we support each and every one of you. You also get access to our Discord where you can chat with us directly and also watch the Munsters Today along with us. Myke uploads it every Monday before the week before the episode comes out, I should say. Can't download it. I'm sorry. Don't want Universal pissed at us right now. Okay. Stop asking. But if you don't have the money to do that, which is fine because the economy is all kinds of screwed up right now, all over the place. It has been for quite a number of years, the entire time we've been doing this show, for that matter. You can leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice. If you're on iTunes, give us a star. You're on Spotify, you can leave a comment. Engagement boosts us in the view. You're on YouTube, comment below. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the bell if you want a chance getting notified when we upload stuff, because YouTube is broken. And if you really want to help the show, the way to grow us faster than ever, tell a friend about it. We have a huge backlog for them to enjoy. Well over 110 episodes at this point. Plus some more stuff that are exclusive to the YouTube, like when we watched the old Frankenstein from when was that made?
Oh geez, I don't even remember.
Anyway, it was like a silent film. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Go check
1910.
19. I almost said that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go check this stuff out. You know, we love doing this. We love hearing from you guys. So give us
Yeah.
that in the ratings, the viewership, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I can see it.
Eh,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Yes, definitely, guys. Do all that stuff. For us, for sure. Tivis, what are we talking about today?
Lots of luck, which is
Dun, dun,
definitely not something we predicted last
dun.
week.
No, it's definitely not. It had neither of us hit this one.
Can I
So,
just say I appreciate you keeping the image of Eddie's credit card in for us to use?
yeah.
Sorry, audio listeners. This is for the this is why the video is better. So this is season 3, episode 15, or the 133rd episode, with both shows slammed together, ignoring mini monsters in between. Aired February 16th, 1991.
Why are you ignoring mini monsters?
Because it was only a special. If they had made a whole series with it, I would be happy, but they didn't, so I'm counting it as a special.
Okay.
February 16, 1991 was when this one aired, written by Brian Johnson, who you may remember from last week. But if you have forgotten, he also did such episodes as Flyweight Champion of the World, Say Ah, Eo de Munster, the season 1 finale, It's a Sad, Sad World, Gateman and Son, and, from last week, Genie from Hell. This is the 12th episode Russ Petranto has done. There are only 2 episodes in this season left where he doesn't direct them. One of them is next week, so I'm excited.
Okay.
Cast list include Julie McCullough, I believe, as Stephanie. Now, if that name is familiar, there are a number of ways you could have learned about her. And believe me, I included them because there's a whole arc to her life that I'm going to go through here. 49 credits, 8 upcoming, 1 writer, 1 additional crew. Born January 65. Began work as a teen model before moving to Cali in 83. Got approached by Playboy for 2 issues in 85 and 86. Yes, that's what I'm going here.
As a teenager?
No, she would have been... it said it approached after graduation, and the issue came out when she was 20, so I don't know when they shot, but she was over 18. Also, I would believe it with the stuff that's come out. So, first acting role was an episode of Who's the Boss in 87. She was Susie in The Blob in 88. She was in an episode of Superboy in 88 as well. 1 episode of The Golden Girls in 90. 11 episodes as Julie Costello in Growing Pains from 89 to 90. She went back for 1 more issue of Playboy. She was in an episode of Beverly Hills 90210 in 91. Then she did this episode. She was a cheerleader in Revenge of the Nerds in 91. 2 episodes of Harry and the Hendersons in 91 and 92. Wrote additional dialogue for In the Living Years in 94. Did 22 episodes as Stacy Wright in Robin's Hoods, 94 to 95. 2 episodes of The Drew Carey Show in 95. She appeared as a staff member, as additional crew in Playboy Inside the Playboy Mansion in 02. They love saying their own name. She also did 1 voice acting role in 05 for Playboy, the Mansion video game. There's a reason I'm including all these. She played Terry Hart in Ice Age in 2012. She was Joni Waves in Sharknado in 2013, and Julie in Sharknado Heart of Sharkness 2015. For you, Myke. In 2019, she began doing Faith products, starting with playing Elizabeth in A Karate Christmas Miracle. Then she played 2 characters in a wrestling Christmas Miracle in 2020. So there's a new Christmas series for you, Myke. For those who don't know, him and his wife love watching cheesy Christmas movies.
Why are they faith-based though?
Production company focuses on products with messages of faith.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much everything from here on out, by the way. She played Brenda in Hank's Christmas Wish in 2023, which has 3 movies now, by the way. It's only not even 2 years later, and they have 3. Brenda, again, another character named Brenda in Not a Clue in 24, which was the last thing to come out. She's got 8 upcoming products, as I mentioned, one of which includes a TV series called The Last War, playing a character called Ray, which is a post-apocalyptic type TV show.
Mhm.
Again, all this from 2019 are all like faith-based productions. So she had clearly had a change in life from early to late years. So,
Yeah,
as I said, I included all of that to show the arc of growth, of the actress.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Then we,
big jump too.
yeah.
Okay.
I I actually know of her because my wife heavily follows the downfall of the mansion and Hafner's legacy, because there's a lot of bad stuff that has come
Oh,
out.
yeah,
So
definitely.
when she popped up in the episode, I'm like, what now? Okay. So
And then she was in this episode
after,
after being in the magazine and stuff.
Mhm.
So that's interesting. I assume it was all magazine stuff though. It wasn't like video stuff.
It just says magazine. Yeah, photo shoots.
Yeah. So that's interesting because she's playing like a teenager.
Yeah. Then we got
Hey.
Troy Shire as Jack. And they actually said the last names for Stephanie and Jack in the episode. I have them in my notes
Mm.
when we get to them, but they weren't included in the credits. So he did 12 projects. Born in April 68. He started on an episode of It's a Living in 85. Did 3 episodes as Dude Number 1 in Growing Pains from 86 to 88. So he left the show before Julie joined it. Did an episode of Ferris Bueller, the TV show, in 90. Then he did this episode. He was on an episode of Step by Step in 92. Played the cowboy in Son-in-Law in 93. And then tragically passed away in August of 95 at the age of 27.
I'm trying to figure out who he played. I don't recognize him from that.
From what?
From Son-in-Law, and that's a movie I watch constantly. He must have just been a background character.
Probably.
And you said he passed away in 95?
Yeah, at the age of 27.
Dang, he was young.
Yeah, I tried finding record of what happened, whether it was a car crash or something darker, but
Yeah.
probably thankfully for the family, there's no record of what actually happened, only his obituary, if you want to check that out. So,
Yeah. Okay.
tragic either
put it in
way.
there.
Yeah. Tragic regardless what happened, he was very young.
Mhm.
So then our final guest for this week, even though there was a whole building full of children, teens, I don't know, at least 2 of which also had speaking parts. Boy, they were real bad with crediting people back then. They're still bad at crediting people today.
Yeah.
We got Cal Gibson as Owl. 89 projects. So if you recognize this guy, there is a reason for it. I only selected a handful, well, couple handfuls, I should say, of stuff that stuck out to me. So if you want to go check out his IMDb page, please do so. I always encourage that. So first credit is an episode of That's My Mama in 74. He did an episode of Sanford and Son in 75. An
Mhm.
episode of Good Times in 77. Different Strokes. He did an episode 4 in 81. All of these are like 1 to 3 one-off appearances for these shows. The
Mhm.
A-Team in 85. The Jeffersons in 78 and 85. Mr. Belvedere in 86. Night Court for over 84 to 86. What's Happening Now in 86 and 87. The Charmings in 87. He was the IBC guard in Scrooged in 88. Great movie.
Yeah.
He appeared in Quantum Leap in 89. My grandma's favorite sci-fi show. The
I
Wonder
mean,
Years
it's a
in...
good show.
Yeah, it is. The
A lot of
Wonder Years
history.
in 1990. This very episode then came up. Family Matters in 92. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 96. The Bernie Mac Show in 01. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac. How I Met Your Mother in 09. played Schwartz in Joe Dick in 2017, and I only included that one so I could say its name. Have you ever heard of this movie?
Joe Dick?
Yeah.
No.
When a detective reality show loser, Nick Knight is paid good money to try to find who killed the show's successful producer. Charles Froth Harrington,
Forsyth?
whatever, teams up with, boy, this is poorly written as I'm reading. Teams up with the producer's gorgeous daughter and a fellow contestant to find out who killed him and why in this comedic romp. So I don't know. That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But whoever wrote that, you need to go back
I
and
don't think
revise it.
I don't think it's the person who wrote it. I think it's the person who read it.
No, you read that verbatim and there's like words missing. Anyway, after that, he appeared in Grey's Anatomy in 2018, the reboot Bel Air in 23, and his last credit is The Vince Staples Show in 24. So he's been active up to last year.
Okay. And he's still kicking, so.
Yeah. Couldn't find a record of when he was born, but yeah.
Yeah.
So again, if you there's so many I omitted, if you recognize him, there's a good reason for it. You have probably seen this guy.
So. Yeah, his like birthday's not on any of the sites here.
No, I found something that credited him as 41, and I think that's a bit off.
Like you put him in,
he's been active for like 50 years.
If you put in, oh jeez, hold on, Cal Gibson. Yeah, nothing. You got nothing. Sorry, guys. I do want to point out something that I noticed the other day on IMDb for the Munsters today. So the rating, like you know how they do like a 5-star rating or whatever, for the entire show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you go to the rating for the Munster show, it says 5.1 out of 10, but you can break it down by country. And it shows you which countries give like the highest rating of it.
Let me guess, it's Europe based.
It's so Canada has 19% give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh.
The UK has only 13% actually.
Really?
Surprisingly, the United States has 21.5% give it a 10 out of 10. Germany has 7.7% and Spain has 9.1%. So it goes America, Canada, UK, which I kind of thought that the UK would have been the higher one, knowing the history of the show within the UK area. So interesting little tidbit of information I found out there.
Yeah.
All right.
That's Frank. You gotta get your country to step it up, man. By the way, friend of the show, Frank. I wish you, all the best going forward. I saw you got some stuff going on. Just to know, you're awesome, man.
Yeah. Okay.
You ready to dive into it? Well, hold up. I think it's time first.
It is time. It's synopsis time. All right, guys. We are talking about Lots of Luck, which aired February. Tivis took it off the screen. 16th, 1991, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, Eddie is gifted with another curse in disguise. As Eddie receives his dreams come true, Lily takes a 2-week vacation as the family strives to survive on pizza alone. Meanwhile, Leonard is running a 150-degree temperature while Herman and Marilyn clean 300-year-old stains off silverware. Grandpa enacts his grandpa tales and leads Eddie to a path of destruction and lessons learned. Will Eddie get the girl or destroy the town one swearing parrot at a time? Will Jack's game score be broken by Eddie? Or will Eddie give it all up for the safe conscience? As magic flies and drawbridges are raised, will all be lost to a teenage Donald Trump? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. Yeah, that was weak.
I gave you an 8 out of 10. Room for improvement.
It was weak. Couldn't even say my own words, guys.
I believe that was reader error there.
Oh, this is what happens when I don't like reread it after I write it. I was like, wait, what am I saying here? I was thinking about it as I'm saying it. All right, let's dive on into this lots of luck episode.
Right. So we got this cool opening shot. It's like this really awesome, like you could tell it's 90s, like the color scheme is so 90s now. It reminds me a lot of like it's like a mix of Saved by the Bell and the juice bar from Power Rangers.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
I had that in my notes.
It's got
Power
like
Rangers
guitars up on the wall, posters of people doing all kinds of sports, and even some like very risque photos of women for some reason in a public place. There's like dartboards, there's arcade machines, and I swear to you, the one Pac-Man has its name changed to Hackman.
Yeah, I was gonna say it says Hackman right on. They couldn't get the licensing, I guess.
A girl walks in, and the way she walks makes me think she's kind of airheaded. Like it reminds me of the one friend from Full House.
Oh, the neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she like rushes over to the counter next to Eddie, where she greets him.
Kimmy.
And
is it Kimmy?
Kimmy. Yes.
Kimmy. Yeah. I was trying to remember. Is her actual name Kimmy or is it Kimberly? Is it short for Kimberly? I don't know.
I don't know.
I never paid attention, I guess, that. But yeah, she does walk in kind of like bow-legged, like Kimmy would, into the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. They have like this bar set up, like just like a bar, basically, where Eddie's sitting doing his biology work.
Yeah. It's like a malt shake like place, but it's like decorated to be more like 90s style.
Yeah. Dude, I would have killed for a place like this when I was young.
Get the
I
time
kill
machine
for that place now.
Right?
Why don't we have more ice cream bars instead of actual bars?
Like we have one here in town, but it's like expensive. And it's not like everything is clean cut, nowadays. Like everything looks like a freaking Apple store or something. It's kind of annoying. I miss the days of color and I guess diversity within the buildings. We've gone from like not having any diversity within stores and buildings. They all look alike.
They tore down one of the Taco Bells near her parents' place, and this new one, it's like dark, like brown outside with like purple highlights around. I'm like, that is the ugliest thing I have ever seen.
So like what the McDonald's are all doing. It's just like flat, no arches.
Yeah. No creativity or inspiration or a soul at all.
Yeah.
We haven't even got to any dialogue yet. We're already on a tangent.
It's something that needs to be fixed within our world.
It really does. We need more places like this, honestly. Like, what is it? There's that one McDonald's in Florida that with the guy who created the Moon Man character that he licensed to them.
Mhm.
That one's still unique. I forget who I was watching. I think it was a Billiam.
Is
Who
that
is
the
that?
one it's in like Sanford or something?
It might be, but
Think
yeah, he
I
has gone
I
out of
don't
his way
remember.
as a licensee to keep his as unique as possible and fight the mandatory change they're trying to push on everyone.
Yeah, all the franchise stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of people
franchisee.
don't understand there's like the franchise McDonald's and then there's the corporate McDonald's. But the franchise ones still have to abide by like certain corporate
The corporate.
aspects
Yeah,
to a certain point. So
yeah.
yeah,
So it's just sad. We need more color in this world, you know,
we really do. I
and more
kind of miss
money.
it. But we're also old people from like the 80s and 90s. So
The age of fun. So she walks up to the counter where Eddie is, and we find out her name is Stephanie, and she calls him Freddie.
Freddie. Freddie. It's
Hmm.
it's not Freddie, it's Eddie.
So do you not remember I bought you 2 chocolate shakes yesterday? She drank 2 chocolate shakes, or did she take one to the guy we're gonna meet soon?
It's worrisome to me that this girl was in the nudie magazine because I look at her and she does not look a day over 16 years old. And it's weird that they
Mm,
would want that in their magazine.
let's see. This aired in 91, which means they probably filmed it in 90, right? So she would have been
Maybe, yeah.
25. 25 in this.
I mean, good for her longevity in her career. That's
Mm.
definitely good for her career. I mean, but there was a lot of people back in the 90s that were playing, teenagers that were in their 30s and stuff like that. I think like the cast of Clueless was pretty old too back in
Oh,
the day. Oh,
yeah,
what?
no, 25. I did my math right.
But yeah, she just looks. I mean, I guess maybe it's a testament to like the show, the
Production team,
production team for
the
makeup and
makeup
stuff
artists and
to make her
clothing.
look more
Mhm.
youthful and stuff. So maybe good on them.
I mean, we got Tom Holland, who still looks like he's 17. So some people just age
I
very well.
mean, I don't know about that. Like, I guess yeah, in the movies they kind of make him. It's also the way he acts too. So
Like a hyper nerd.
yeah,
I'm
like
pretty
there's
sure
a
that's him in real life too, with based on his interviews.
yeah. I've seen his interviews where he's talked about like his alcoholism and stuff like that, and it
Yeah.
was really cool to see that side because you never see that side of him.
Mhm.
I mean, good thing we never saw that side in public or anything like that.
No,
But
but taking ownership of his
yeah,
problems and
especially
talking
when it
about it.
wasn't something that was public knowledge in the first place,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool.
Good on him before it became a problem. Like, unfortunately, with Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter, I believe when he went to rehab, it was starting to become public knowledge.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But
But Daniel Radcliffe is a beast too.
yeah, that dude is incredible. Uh,
I still have to watch the last season they did of the one show he was in.
I got to finish that too. Miracle Workers.
Yeah.
That's such a good show. If nobody has seen that, go watch it. But
Sorry, we're only a minute in.
so yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I do remember you. He's like, oh yeah, you called me cute. Did I? Oh yeah, you remind me of my little brother. That's what. He's like,
Yeah.
oh. So anyway, you want to go to a rated R movie? Like, why? You need someone to buy you tickets? When did they start age restricting tickets, Mike?
Um, I would say in the 90s you had to have an adult to go to a rated R movie because it was restricted for people under the age of whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
I,
know
uh,
what the age limit was at that time.
I was a teenager in the 2000s, so obviously it was well in place, and
Mhm.
I actually, yeah, I can admit this. I got caught doing it. I'd scam my friends and be like, "Yeah, no, give me your money. I'll buy the tickets," and then I'd keep the change. Uh,
Yeah. Here's
except
the
for
big
this one person. Like, I was able to buy my tickets for everyone else when I was 17, and then I got to one person when I was 18, and she's like, "No, only for yourself." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
yeah. So most it's okay. I'm trying to find it. I'm not finding anything for R-rated like when it was established or anything. But I know
Mhm.
it was established like when I was younger because my friend's mom would go up, buy tickets for us and let us in. And then just we would go in and watch the movies. But it's interesting to me that they had like restrictions on like movies and stuff back in the early 90s even.
Mhm.
And or like they have age limits on certain things nowadays to I'm not condoning smoking cigarettes or anything because I don't agree with it, but to each his own. However, nowadays you have to be 21 in the United States to buy cigarettes. When I was a kid, I could go into the bathroom and buy cigarettes out of a freaking machine if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were
That's-
like little vending machines in bathrooms. They kind of like they sold like condoms and tampons and cigarettes. And you could just go up to them and buy them, and you could go and get your parents smokes if they asked you to go get them a pack of smokes or something.
Mhm.
Like it was crazy. And that wasn't that long ago. Like and so like
Well, I mean,
seeing the restrictions that we have nowadays on so much stuff, I'm like, y'all remember when you could just go to the vending machine and buy it? Like,
we are talking about 2 generations ago now.
yeah, but that's still it doesn't seem like a very long time. Like I f- it wasn't many years before my first kid was born that you could still do that.
That sounds like some backward ass towns refusing to change.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
Toledo.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no, I was thinking about that the other day because somebody like was like, oh, I gotta go get this for my wife or whatever. And I was like, well, why don't you just have your kid? I was like, oh yeah, your kids are not even 18 yet. And then I was like, well, remember when you could go and just get them in the machine? Like they had them everywhere. But yet, a kid who's 18 or actually younger can go into their high school and buy an energy drink out of a vending machine, which is probably even worse for you than other things out there. So, it's
yeah.
like
Thanks, Coca-Cola, for upturning that health,
that's
change.
that's ridiculous that my kids can go into their high school and buy a basically jet fuel drink
Mm. Well, we
in
had
a vending
those
machine.
those they tried to put those things in place for
Yeah,
only put juice in those machines, but then that somebody came along and changed it back. So
yeah.
that's just the way of our country.
I could go on another tangent with juice stuff right now, but let's move forward into
Oh,
this.
juice is horrible for your teeth, but it's okay every now and then.
Well, you're
Yeah,
not supposed to, especially orange juice, you're not supposed to drink that much of it. That's why you it's actually healthier just to have the juice from an orange versus so concentrated
I-
amount.
that's why I drink the watered down Sunny D.
It's the same thing as milk. If you're gonna drink milk, drink it straight from the cow, not boiled or no. I'm just messing with
I mean, we're technically as a species we're lactose intolerant in general, but that's a whole nother discussion. Eddie's like, "Oh, you're hilarious. You want to take a ride in my red convertible and tell me more jokes one day?" She's, "How about tomorrow?" He's,
that
I'm
might be a
stupid.
problem.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
told a lot. Could this have happened during the episode My Genie from Hell when he
mm,
promised him the convertible?
maybe. Maybe it was going on. No,
Because he
we
mentioned a
have the
different girl
stuff.
that episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have been cool though to have an episode set
Inside
during
another
another one.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were clever enough back then. Or cared, sadly. So yeah, Eddie's like, okay, I just got a small thing to do with my license. I got to pick it up. And she's like, oh, when are you going to do that?
Like a
Uh,
year and
1 year, 4 months, and 4 days. And then he claims to be 15, which I'm like, he has
I
to
think
wait a year and 4. What does he have to? He has to wait till he's 16 and a half. I'm like, I got my temps like immediately at 15 and got my license not long. At
well,
16.
he probably has to wait X amount of time because I know nowadays, anyways, it has to be a year. If you're under 18, you have to have your permit for at least a year.
Yeah, you could get your temporaries at 15 though. Why aren't
Yeah,
parents?
but it depends on when he got his temps.
That's true, and it doesn't sound like he has temps at all
Right.
from future conversation here.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I just found that weird.
Yeah. And then in walks a jock looking dude.
Yeah, he sits Riker style on the chair. Did I use that right, Riker?
Sure.
Trying to be hip with the Trekkies.
He doesn't have the swagger of Riker.
You know.
Or that wholesome voice that'll tell you fact or fiction. So that's too deep of a joke if people don't know who we're talking about.
I know who we're talking. I knew that one. Yeah.
Also, go watch Fact or Fiction, guys. It's an awesome show.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anyways, this guy, man. Also, by the way, Eddie's
Free
wearing
guy.
a bolo tie in this whole scene.
He is. I noticed that.
And I was like wondering, I was like, what the heck is he wearing a bolo tie for? Because usually Eddie's dressed like a punk, like kind of like semi-punk, I guess, American punk. Yeah, not like raw punk, but like American punk, like a kid growing up in the suburbs who's like, oh, I like that. The wannabes punks. But yeah, he has a bolo tie on here, and I was just like, what is this? I thought the gem was gonna do something in this episode, to be honest, when I first saw this part.
Oh,
here.
like the Fregosi Emerald or whatever?
Yeah. But all right, so Jack comes on into the scene and basically like pushes Eddie out.
He does.
Yeah.
Eddie's
Go on.
Eddie's I challenge you, Jack, to a game of mutant monsters.
Mutant monsters.
Yeah, as though that would impress any girl.
And then Jack just points over. He's like, well, I have the highest score. And he points over to a poster on the wall that has his score on it, like just written out with his full name. That's where you get his full name at, Jack Emmons, whatever. I don't know of any place that did this because usually the machine would just keep the score, the record.
I guess if you're trying to promote, arcade, is like, hey, this is the one you got to beat. Come give it a try.
I guess maybe, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Man, I want an arcade ice cream bar.
I just want an actual arcade.
They got them now in malls. They're putting them in a lot of empty stores.
Every so often you'll find one.
Yeah.
We had one in town, and it was like an arcade bar, so it had like the old arcade, and then like
we got one of those.
Well, they phased out a lot of the arcade machines and went to like basically just pinball bar, and then eventually they just closed down. I think they were only open for like maybe a year and a half or 2 years tops.
You can't run a business on pinball alone. Put some pool tables in at least.
I just wanted the freaking arcade, man. Give me Chuck E. Cheese, but for adults, but not like Dave and Buster's, because I don't want to pay for that.
We love the Luigi game at Dave and Buster's.
Also, make it more vintage arcade games. Like, there was a place in the town we grew up in. called Nickel World. Is that still around?
I've never heard of it, so probably not.
Okay, so it was around. It was still around when I got married too. So it was around a while back, but you could go in there and every arcade machine only cost 1 nickel to play.
Is it in Illinois? Rockford?
No, it was in Ohio. It was literally like I want to say it was technically in like maybe Sylvania or Maumee area.
Oh, I see where it was. It closed.
They closed. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they're dead.
Permanently closed.
Apparently, that Google
historical
search was too
landmark.
much for my computer.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be
Anyways.
tore down in a week then.
Yeah, but no, that was a really cool arcade to go to. I rarely went there though because it was so far and I, didn't have a car at the time. So yeah. Yeah, it was kind
we
of
got
cool.
this
I
new one
want a
called
place like that.
We got this new one called Reset now. That's just yeah.
Reset. Okay.
Times of old. We are becoming
Give
that
us-
old.
Well, give us our old stuff back, please.
Yeah. So I just don't understand how this would impress a girl. Like my wife is a gamer. Like
Mhm.
she plays shooters. Like
Yeah.
she's that type of in the game weeds. And she does not care about most of the games I play.
Yeah.
In fact, the last one she paid attention to was The Last of Us because she got into the story. So
Well, it is the 90s here, so they have to make girls kind of stupid. It's I mean, come on. It's like they made her stupid in this.
I don't know why being into games would make them stupid, but
Well, no, that they're just so easily like, oh my god, I have to have you because you beat a game score.
oh yeah,
Like,
no, this girl's so much in her head, definitely.
at first, yeah.
I'll agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
till the very end.
they kind of like Disney princess her where it's like, oh my, I need a man who can beat this monster game. Like what? Okay. Anyways. What? Okay. Oh, Tivis was paused for a second. So yeah, so Jack's like, yeah, you want to beat, you can't beat me. Like, what's up here?
Oh, wait, Myke. I converted those points in today's total with inflation.
Uh-oh.
And what it comes out to is this dude spends way too much in an arcade cabinet instead of hanging out with friends.
Dude, how much money are they dropping on these arcades?
I look like just a quarter.
I guess, yeah, if you're playing one straight game, if you're that good.
Yeah, they're usually timed though, so you have to put more money in.
If this kid is that good, why didn't Adam Sandler call him to help out in
Pixels?
in Pixels?
Yeah. Well, as we saw, he wasn't around, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, dang. Sad. Tivis goes dark all the time lately, guys. I don't know what it is.
It's a dark, dark world out there. Get yourself a flashlight. I don't have one. I did have a UV light in here, but now it's gone.
All right. Let's go forward because we're only 3 minutes into this episode.
Yes, we are. So yeah, Eddie's like, "Hey, don't get so cocky. I've been practicing." See, and Jack's like, "I would love to beat you for the 575th time." And this episode gets very specific with numbers.
Mhm.
1,000,001, a year, 4 months, and 4 days. It's weird. And so he's like, "Stephanie, you ready to come to my house?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got my change of clothes in the bag." And
Change clothes? What do you need? What are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, she's washing my car, and she gets super excited about getting a new bottle of turtle wax. So I guess that's good.
Yeah.
And
I love
it's like,
Eddie's look on his face though. He's like, what are you guys gonna do that she needs to change of clothes? Eddie, that's not
Yeah.
how that works. They don't need changes of clothes.
Which is why he's confused. So she says goodbye to Teddy, and he's like, "It's Freddie." Wait, no, whatever. So Al at the counter's like, "Tough break, kid. Here's a free shake because you're a loser."
Yeah.
And
Can I say I wrote this later in my notes, but I'm going to say it now. I wish they would have introduced this set piece earlier on in the
Mhm.
show, because this could have led way to a lot more stories. Like even Marilyn could have had some cool story arcs that started
Right?
here, ended here. So it's sad to
Or-
see that it's like pretty much they're introducing this whole set piece at the very end of the show. Not to
we could.
mention, I highly doubt we're coming back to it.
Oh yeah. And we could have had one where Grandpa got an addiction, and they're like, "What is going on?" And he's secretly going here for the milkshakes. Like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Right.
I know it's not blood.
And Al could have been a cool little like side
Returning.
character to
Yeah.
be like not a mentor, but kind of like
Ernie at the juice bar.
yeah,
Advice
kinda-
giver.
yeah, like a little like a bartender kind of
Mhm.
guy. Yeah. I was gonna say
The
Wilson
guy from Cheers. Oh,
Wilson
Wilson.
from
That's a good one too.
Home Improvement. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Eddie takes the milkshake, and
He tries
he
to
looks
dump it in.
yeah, he looks away while he does this. Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
Because he's
An idiot?
a dumb dog.
He pours it all over his biology paper, and Al freaks out because now he's got to clean this free gift he tried to give this kid out of his generosity.
Yeah. Completely wasted.
Yeah, Eddie's got some rotten luck. But back at home, we get this weird little bit that goes nowhere. Marilyn, Grandpa, and Herman are all having some afternoon tea. And it's a wonderful tradition. And I have to quote Ted Lasso here, that tea is a prank, right? The tea? Like when us tourist folks aren't around, y'all know it tastes like garbage, don't you? So Grandpa's like,
Hey, I drink tea all the time.
you and my wife are weirdos.
You're surrounded by weirdos then.
So Grandpa asks,
weirdos are the only ones who will love you. Think about that, Tivis.
I'm fine with it. Grandpa asks Herman when he switched from motor oil, which I swear we actually saw that in the Super Bowl episode, wasn't it? Where he had cans of motor oil to drink.
I think so, yeah.
So continuity, haven't done that in a while. Marilyn wishes that they had crumpets, and Herman agrees a horn solo would be nice. Herman, what do you think crumpets are? Do you think she said trumpets?
Probably. I very much assume that.
And now we get Grandpa saying they're proud of them. Lily's gone for 2 hours and 0 problems. Herman goes,
Yep.
Still got a couple weeks. There's time,
Yeah.
And that's our explanation for why she has vacation this week.
Yeah. And Grandpa's like, well, as long as we don't lose the pizza guy's number, we'll be set.
Yeah. And that's the best point you can give. Herman wonders where Eddie is, and Marilyn's like, oh, he's moping around somewhere. He's
moping about a girl, basically.
He's so depressed. She saw him down at the arcade pumping quarters into Mutant Mayhem. And Grandpa doesn't hear an issue. When he was young, he spent his whole allowance on wandering minstrel concerts. He was a sucker for acoustics.
Wandering what? What?
Minstrel.
He said minstrel?
Yeah.
I thought he said menstrual. And I was assuming blood, so I was thinking vampire blood.
No, he's just old medieval concerts.
That changes my notes then for that.
Yeah. Which is a great callback to, we know in the Middle Ages he went to college. They have a lot of really good callbacks in this episode. I bumped the mic again. I'm sorry, audio listeners. I'm terrible about that. Marilyn hasn't been interested in the games. It's just that, or she's like, no, he hasn't been interested in the games. It's that dumb Stephanie Mason who transferred to their school. And Herman's
Yeah.
like, great, it's a girl. Next, he's going to ask to borrow the car.
And then Eddie walks in. Hey, Pop, can I borrow the car? And Herman just looks at him. He's like, yeah, sure, if you don't borrow the keys or go anywhere.
And they lower the driving age. And I'm like, does he not know how to drive? Grandpa's like, that's very nice. You have it in common. And I thought he was going to say something sweet, like, you know, there's a bonding experience for you two, now leave, or something like that. But no.
Yeah.
Herman, teach your kid to drive. So yeah. I skipped
I'm
ahead
not
too
even
far in
teaching
notes.
my kids how to drive.
Oh, you're letting your wife do that?
I mean, I no, they ain't driving my vehicle. Hell no.
See, my dad taught everyone how to drive, including my mom. He's like, and his way of driving is go out in the middle of winter where the roads are iced over, spin the wheel on you so you go out of control, and say, don't crash.
To be fair, I have had my license the least amount of time in this house. So yeah. Because I didn't need a license in Ohio because everywhere I went or needed to go, I just rode my bike or walked, and that's why I stayed in shape more of my life up there. But then when I got married, I had to get a license. Well, not married, I guess. I got it before we got married, but when the first kid was born, was I?
Mhm.
Yeah. Or right before he was born.
So it really hasn't been that long for you.
No. It's
I'm
not very long at all.
going on 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa wasn't much better with teaching either, by the way. I switched from my dad to him, and his idea of teaching me to parallel park is I'm going to stand here opposite of this telephone
So,
pole. Don't run me down and don't hit the pole. Get between us.
so you want to hear a funny sitcom type story about why I didn't get my license for so long? Because actually, my wife ended up teaching me how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the one who taught me to drive.
Okay.
So anytime she got a complaint, she can just blame herself. One, but two. So when I was younger, I had my permit and everything. I was learning how to drive with my parents, whatever. And I did something, and my mom was like, all right, we're done. You're not driving again, period. I'm taking your license away, or your permit away. You're not getting your license. It was pretty much, I feel, my mom overreacting to something.
Yeah.
And her excuse to get me to not be in a car anymore. Now bear with me. This was like after I had seizures and stuff, started having seizures or epilepsy, whatever you guys want to call it. So I was already established with that. I was on medication that was perfectly taken care of.
Mhm.
The reason why allegedly the reason why they took away my right to drive or whatever
Mhm.
was when I was in junior high age area, right? Whatever. I don't remember what age, what grade it was, but I was tasked with making copies of the tests for the school
Mhm.
in the book. And I would go and make copies of the tests for the school. And then I would flip to the back page and make copies of the answer sheets and sell the answer sheets to the students at the school.
So you're the one who ruined that for everyone.
and, and the only way I got caught was at the time, or now, I should say, my brother is married to the daughter of the guy who was the president of the Board of Education at the time. I'm sorry, guys, this is a long story.
That
But
was a crazy connection.
yeah. So one of my little brothers married the daughter of the president of Board of Education at the time. He no longer is, but at the time he was. And we were all friends of the family and stuff like that. Well, I had sold a sheet to his nephew who was going to the school as well. He caught his nephew with it. His nephew squealed on me, and then I got in trouble. Luckily, they didn't kick me out of school or anything. So I just had to give them the rest of the copies I had before selling them. But man, I made some money. Entrepreneur, man. Like, come on. They should have given me a better grade because I was making business skills. I was learning. I could have been in government with how much corruption I did.
Ain't that the truth?
All right. Anyways, that's my story of why I didn't get my license until I was older.
That's actually a story I've never heard, so that's interesting.
And when I look back on it and I say it, I'm kind of like, this could be a sitcom episode. Like, this would be something that Kevin James would have done.
This is the kind of stories I'm pitching for our supplemental stuff. Anyway.
Yes. Anyways, guys, we're only 6 minutes into this episode. Let's go.
So Marilyn's like, no girl is worth all this effort. Just relax and be yourself. Have you looked at me lately? I try out for the football team. They make me the mascot. I still shop at Kitty Casuals for clothing. I swear that's the gift card Marilyn gave him for his birthday.
I think it is, yeah.
Continuity. The other day, he forgot the key to his locker and I had to sit through geometry and nothing but a wet towel. I doubt they would allow that.
Yeah, I don't think they would allow. They would have sent his butt home.
Yeah. So Eddie then leaves, and the three of them just sip their tea while some British-style music begins playing.
Yeah. Switch to the lab, where her grandpa is messing with Leonard. And he's like, 150 degrees, Leonard. It's a good thing for you. You're already dead.
Mm-hmm. How is the skeleton running a fever? He's got no meaty parts to heat up.
Yeah. I'm trying to read my note because it's like all jumbled together. Anyways. Yeah.
Eddie like jumps down and heads straight for Grandpa's computer. And I love this.
Yeah.
We get Grandpa and Leonard exchanging a look and just shrugging at each other. Shout out again to the puppeteer of this or puppeteers of this episode. You people make Leonard so awesome. I wish we got more of him.
He's literally a character, and I love it. He's not just a prop, which is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just shout out to those people.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Grandpa's like, still depressed? Everything in life is going wrong. You want a pep talk? Nah. You got any lucky rabbit's foot? That stuff doesn't work. Well, what about a horseshoe or a shamrock? I'm desperate here. Fine. How about a coin?
So interesting here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this scene, it seems like to me that Eddie is kind of envious of like Jack. Like, you know, he's kind of jealous and stuff like that. I love the fact that as this entire scene plays out, while Eddie's by himself anyways, they have this bright green light on him, kind of conveying the envy and stuff. And I really enjoyed that aspect of like the scene. And there's several other aspects later on in the show too that do it. And it just, to me, I was like, dude, that's really cool. I don't know if they did that on purpose because I know there's a green light in Grandpa's lab usually, but like
it's more prominent in this episode for sure.
It's a lot more prominent on Eddie, especially in his face and stuff right here, because he almost comes off looking like the freaking Wicked Witch. Like that, it's so green on his face. It's crazy.
Yeah. No,
which is what is that why she turned green in Wizard of Oz, because of envy?
I just know in Wicked she was born that way.
Well, that's wicked.
Because her mom cheated on her with a dude who was drinking potions.
We don't count Wicked. Yes.
Yeah. No, I have no idea. So, this is why I love doing this show with you, though. You got all that film knowledge and notice stuff like that I overlook.
Do you want me to turn a green light on you? Are you envious? You want me to put a green light on you?
I don't think I'm envious. I think I'm lucky. That's what I'm saying. I'm lucky to have, the ability to hear your commentary.
Yeah, I get you. I forgot one the other week, and then I was like thinking about it in the vehicle. I was like, oh, I didn't even say it, but yeah. I don't even remember what it is now, but I had like a whole commentary on something. Yeah. Anyways.
Always throw that stuff in. So he's like, yeah, I got this lucky coin. And Eddie's like, when are coins lucky? Since there was a shamrock shortage in the 1800s or whatever. I got it from Merlin, who I traded it for a whoopee cushion. Guy loved his practical jokes. He
Yeah.
swore by this coin. He never once wasted a drink on a girl in a pub who wore a chastity belt. This is putting a whole new twist on the Sword and the Stone, I'll tell you that. So yeah. Eddie's like, well, what does it say? It's ancient Transylvanian from the 5th century BD. Before Dracula.
Before Dracula. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some kind of curse on it, but I honestly think he just told me that. Yeah, because he wouldn't give up his dribble lights to me either.
Now, is this supposed to be like Merlin, like Sword in the Stone Merlin?
Since we know he dates back to the Middle Ages, I'm gonna guess, yeah.
Well, what was his roommate's name? I forget. I thought his roommate's name was Merlin too, wasn't it?
No, I don't believe so.
No, okay. Cool.
Forgive me a second here. I could probably find it. Do you remember the episode and title?
No.
Okay.
I don't recall on that. Yeah. Let's just continue.
All right. Maybe
I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was.
I don't believe so either. So upstairs, Herman and Marilyn are polishing some silverware while Grandpa just watches from afar on the phone. 300 years and the blood won't come off. You never should have taken it to the Spanish Inquisition, you old man. He's like, it's not my fault. I enjoy the elegance of a good beheading. And then he talks very sweet, like puts on a flirting tone. I'll pick you up at midnight, Marcia, and hangs up. He's saying this stuff while he's trying to pick up a chick.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the family are doing their own adventure. And like, this is that episode of the Clash Show where Grandpa is doing something totally distant from the actual story of the episode. And we never find out what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on with the family. They're just having their own mini adventures while Eddie's off doing stuff in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool because when you think about the episode, like there's always something else going to be going on, not just the one main story that one person is doing. It's like anywhere in reality, which is kind of cool. Everyone's got their own life. So I actually explained this to somebody the other day. I don't know if it wasn't you, but I was like, I believe that the multiverse is real, not in the aspect that how Hollywood portrays a multiverse, but
you mean I'm not Batman somewhere?
But no, maybe, who knows? But I believe that the multiverse exists in the reality that we all live in our own little universe. Therefore, multiple universes, therefore multiverse.
So you're playing into the whole everyone's their own main character.
Yeah.
Which has led to a lot of problems.
Look at the internet. Do you not think everyone thinks that they're the main character?
That's what I'm talking about, problems.
So, like, yeah, that's how I view the multiverse in that aspect. I know there are many like scientific theories of a real like multiverse as movies try to portray it, but yeah. I said what I said, Tivis, move on.
I'm going to have to, because I'm going to spend so much time not agreeing with you.
It's okay.
But I'll agree to disagree.
In my universe, I agree with me and you agree with me.
See, in my head, whenever I think of the multiverse, I'm like, I guarantee when I woke up today, I made it another day than another version of me, so I should be lucky.
In a real other universe, I would be sleeping still. Or probably dead. Or still selling answers out of books.
He's still at that same high school.
I could have been a politician. Maybe I'm a president somewhere.
Could be.
A very unconstitutional president somewhere. Let's go.
President of the Munsters fan base.
No, I think Munster fans would actually get annoyed with me after a while. I'm pretty
That's
sure
something
they
that disappeared after the 90s too. Fan clubs.
There are some. They're just in a different way. They re-evolved.
I feel like they're more like online message boards now and cons.
Yeah, because you have like Reddit for like different fan groups. You have Facebook fan group pages. There are accounts that you can follow on like X or Twitter and Instagram.
See,
and
I feel like
all
that's
that
just
stuff.
having those local fan club meetings and stuff. You get to meet the people of your community. You can make new friends. That stuff was cool. When you got online, like I have some online friends. I got people in New York, California, Florida.
A lot of people realize that they're all like antisocial, and that's why the comic shops aren't flooded with hundreds of people all the time. Only on the free comic book day.
Go support your comic shops. Like, buy cool stuff. Buy it.
No. Anyway.
Eddie rushes in.
My notes keep disappearing. There we go.
Good dude. That's okay. I keep scrolling all over the place on my page, losing where I am. So
did we talk about how the silverware was used in the Spanish Inquisition?
Yeah, and then he hangs up on that woman.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then Eddie walks in, and he's like, "Hey guys, I did really great on my test." He's like, "Good for you. You studied." And he's like, "Actually, I didn't do anything. It was all luck. It was all the coin." And then they start making fun of him, like, that's not true. And he's like, "All right, here, pick a card, any card." And Herman picks a card off the deck. And then Eddie picks another card, and Eddie gets the high card. And Marilyn's like, "Well, that could be anything. That could happen to anyone. Just, all right, fine, do it again." Herman picks a card. Eddie picks a higher card. And she's like, see, there you go. And then they get bored of it. And then Marilyn's like, "Oh crap, it's 3:00. Everyone, quiet." She's just like out of nowhere. I gotta make a call.
While they're doing the card thing, though, she's like, "I still don't believe it." And Herman's like, "Yeah, I once won a dance competition in Budapest on accident."
Yeah.
And her grandpa's like, "Some prize, 3 weeks in Chernobyl."
That's a deep cut stroke.
I found a coin.
You got a lucky coin?
Yeah. I can't show the other side because it's got writing for a different show that doesn't exist anymore.
All right.
I don't want to advertise.
And then
you want to advertise, you give me the money.
She says, "It's 3:00. Everyone be quiet. I gotta make a phone call. I gotta say." And did you write down what she has to say? Because I did not.
Let's see.
It's for a Paula Abdul concert.
I did not.
She has to be like the 72nd caller.
87th.
87th. Okay. 87th caller. And she has to repeat a specific line. And she keeps calling and calling and calling. And she just keeps getting the busy signal. And Eddie's like, "Well, Also, by the way, he has his arm full of watches again in this scene.
I saw that. His watches are back. He loves his watches. It's like that's the signal for it's not a mustache or a goatee. It's the watches signal evil Eddie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting that he continues to go back to the watches. Maybe he's trying to keep track of everything, different time zones.
Could be. We know that he eventually gets back into stock and stuff. So
yeah.
Oh, that comes back in a weird way.
So she's trying to call. She keeps getting busy signal. Eddie's like, "Well, let me try." He calls. He gets right in through. He says the line because he actually remembered it and I didn't. And so he is getting not just Paula Abdul tickets, but he is getting front row tickets to Paula Abdul.
Upgraded from the balcony.
And this is pre Paula Abdul, like pre what was the show that she did? American Idol?
American Idol. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get the hype for her.
So this was like Paula Abdul in her like height of her career. Well, yeah, I would say height of her career. 91 still.
Did you
So,
write down why he got the upgraded tickets?
I remember why. I did not write down word for word. So go ahead.
Yeah, the producer came down with the measles, which is sad timing on reality. That sucks for that guy. And that's when Grandpa remembers the curse.
Curse. Oh yeah, that's right. The curse. Every bit of luck you get, someone else gets crap luck. So what happened when Eddie got really good luck on these cards?
I'm going to guess the measles because it clearly didn't happen when he called because the guy already had it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like it steals luck from other people, or yin yang is like how Grandpa describes it. But
Yeah.
I like to think of it that the coin is a vampire that sucks the luck out of other people around it.
No, I'm not giving you that dad joke.
It's not a dad joke. It's a vampire coin from a vampire.
It's from Merlin, the wizard.
Yeah. And he gave it to a vampire for a whoopee cushion, so he clearly didn't want it.
Because he didn't want to have that on his conscience. Conscience, that's the freaking word I was trying to pronounce in this time.
I don't. Depending on the version of Merlin, he might not care. Just saying. So, yeah. Eddie's like, oh, well, who cares? It's not me. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta call the stock market, the racetrack, and Vegas, which just makes me want to watch the Flintstones go to Rock Vegas. Viva Rock Vegas. All right. Grandpa knows how addictive he can get to this stuff, and gambling is a bad one. He's like, ooh, this is going to be bad.
Yeah. All right. So this is when Eddie's on the phone, right?
Commercial break, come back. And he's arguing with someone on the phone. Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie gets off the phone and
do you remember what he's on the phone about?
Nope.
Buying stock in pork bellies. Do you remember what financially ruined Herman?
Yeah.
The pork bellies. It's back. The continuity of this episode is insane. This, honestly, we'll get into it with our final thoughts.
What happened to his dad renting business? Like Uber dad?
That's a good question. It probably failed because he didn't get a customer because of his poor luck.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get going. I didn't realize how late it was already.
Eddie's like, hey, buy every single pork belly you see. He hangs up. He's like, what's a pork belly? Grandpa and Herman have been eating this entire time while Eddie's been yelling into the phone. So that's when Marilyn comes in.
Oh yeah, Grandpa gave him a shocked look too when he was like, "What's a pork belly?" After he had told him to buy it all.
What is wrong with you? So Marilyn comes in and she's like, "Thank you for helping me get the play." And I'm like, "Oh my god, even more continuity." She's got her own dressing room and top billing, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, the producer called and he wants to rename it Romeo and Marilyn." First, that's nice of Eddie to share his luck. 2, does that bode well for Marilyn's ability to step into the shoes of another person like actors are supposed to if they have to rename it to Marilyn?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, we jump to the arcade now.
I don't like it.
I call it the arcade ice cream parlor juice bar.
Yeah.
Eddie is playing Mutant Monsters. Stephanie walks in and calls him Freddy again.
Well, although
It's a
you
step.
missed out a part before that happened. This is when
Oh shit, I did. Yeah.
Grandpa's talking to Eddie about, all the people he's hurting and stuff. He's like, well, can you look them in the eye? And Eddie's like, you're right. I should pull up the drawbridge so I don't have to look at those losers in the eye.
Oh, I'm glad. I can't believe I went right past that. That was such a great line.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched this with my wife, by the way, and her only comment was when he jumped the milkshake on his homework, and she called him a dumb.
So your wife is Red Foreman. Got it.
So yeah, we're at the arcade ice cream parlor.
Yeah.
Stephanie walks in, calls him Freddie, which I guess is a step. It's not Teddy. Who
And this is
ironically,
where I wrote that I wish that the diner scene would stay in. This is where I wrote that.
No.
Yeah.
He's like,
Or
hey,
was it been established earlier?
how's your driver's license going? He's like, don't need one. I drove a limo to school. And he's like flashing his money, and she is speechless.
Yeah.
He's like, ow, make my usual.
She's kind of mesmerized by the money. It's interesting.
Yeah. Did you win the lottery? No, that's on Saturday. But I got pork bellies. Like, what are pork bellies? Who cares? Everything I touch is gold these days. And he plays the arcade cabinet one-handed and covering his eyes like, oh, look, I'm winning. Oh.
I'm sorry, but any guy who watched this episode with her in it and then still went back and looked at the magazine's a freaking pervert. Just gonna say it because she just came into the scene again. I'm like, there's no way she's 20 something. I don't care.
Right? It's so weird.
Way. She has really good genetics. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, I saw a picture of her today, and yeah, she looks real good for her age. Definitely.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I saw a picture of her in the Playboy. It's like, Tivis, why did you look that up?
No. When I was researching the stuff, they have a photo from a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and she still looks real. Like she got good genetics for sure.
What's her actual name again?
Julie.
McCullough. Cullough, yeah. Let's see here. Nowadays. Please don't get me some bad searches.
Did you type 2025?
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's she supposed to be now, like 50s?
She was born in 60, so
happy 59th birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
So 60, so she'll be in her 60s, isn't it, by now? That's an older picture right there. Okay.
Yep.
There was a growing pain scandal apparently with her. Because she was in Playboy.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
What? Was Growing Pains more of like a faith-based show? I don't remember Growing Pains.
It was more family friendly.
Family friendly?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so was Full House, but it had Bob Saget in it. Come on. Like, if you ever saw Bob Saget stand up before House,
or heard any of the stories with him backstage,
just to stand up alone, like, come on. He was a comedian, a very raunchy comedian. I really wish I would have seen him on his last run before he passed. Sad.
Yeah. So Eddie asks if she's waiting for Jack, and she's like, something to that effect, but I don't have to be. So he's like, hey, you want to go see Friday the 13th, part 21, Jason collects Social Security? She's
like, count me in if we only sit in the back row.
I remember being a teen, the fad thing to do was to sit in the front row, and that was stupid as can be. I hated that.
Story time.
Okay, here we go again. This is gonna be a long one for you guys.
I recently talked about this with my kids too. So like when I go to movies, even when I was a kid, I never went to do the back row thing where like the kids would go to the back row and make out. That's what they always did. Went on a date with this one girl who I actually ended up dating for a few months. But we went to go see a movie with her like best friend at the time and her best friend's boyfriend. and her best friend and her boyfriend were making out in the movie. I am a movie person. I watched the movie. I paid to go see the movie. I paid 2 tickets to go see the movie out of my own money. My parents didn't pay for it. I didn't have like parents that were paying for all that crap. If I wanted to do stuff, I had to pay for it out of my own stuff. So I paid for it and went to go watch it. This girl apparently she got upset because I wasn't trying to like mac on her or anything. Is that still a word? I don't think kids say that anymore. But anyways,
no, we're not kids, so who cares?
We're talking about a show from the 90s right now. Like, chill.
Based on a show from the 60s.
Right. She wanted me to park with her. Like, that's the 60s version. Well, apparently she told her best friend. Her best friend told her boyfriend. Her boyfriend confronted me and was like, "Hey, dude, she really is upset. She wanted you to like make a move or do something." I was like, "Bro, I'm not doing it." Like, I was totally out. I was like, "No, I'm not wasting my money to just suck face." Like, I'm just not doing it.
See,
anyways,
me who didn't, who had one girlfriend in my
Mhm.
teens. Well, no, 2, because I did start dating my wife. Yeah, I've only dated 2 people. I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah.
So
No, it's nothing to be ashamed of, dude.
we went to see, the MCU just started. My buddy Teddy.
Mhm.
I don't mind name dropping him because he's gonna love that I shared this story. He's a funny dude. He was dating this girl who was actually how I met my wife, her best friend at the time.
Okay.
We went and saw the Hulk. Iron Man just came out. It's this big deal. Still good movie to this day. You know how good it is. And everyone's like, "Oh, they're going to connect all this stuff," but it's still early days. And they're like, "Oh, maybe they're not. We don't know yet."
Right.
And then immediately in the very beginning of the movie, they flash all this stuff like, Stark Tech, Blueprint, Shield, stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, are you seeing all this? They're actually doing it. And he's like, "No, I missed it. Dang it, woman."
That's awesome.
Because he's actually the one who got me into comics too. He's like a huge comic guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome, man. No, but don't ever feel like you have to. I know you don't feel bad for it, but don't ever say, "Oh, I've only dated 2 people." Who cares? I listened to a podcast of these guys, and 2 of the guys on the show have only had sex with their wife. That's the only person they've ever been intimate with in any facet. So, and it's really cool to hear their personal stories and stuff like that of I'm in the world of where everyone sleeps with everybody, but I waited and I got married, and that this is the only person I've been with. So yeah, it was what show is that? It's the Flagrant podcast, I think it is. A bunch of guys on there. There's it's a bunch of comedians. So
I know some of my mom's friends listens to this show, so I'm not going to comment. Even though if you watch the YouTube channel, you got your answer. He says, she's really into his confidence, and Al congratulates on him finally getting a date. He's like, "Yeah, it's all thanks to this lucky coin and ruining other people's lives," as a car sounds like it crashes outside. And I'm like, "Oh God, did it hit her? She just left."
That would have been hilarious. I mean, not hilarious. That would have been terrible. Never mind. I said it. It's hilarious.
It would have been dark humor.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's only Jack having all 4 tires blow out at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're in the lab. Eddie rushes in as Grandpa demands the lucky coin back.
Yeah. He's like, "I want my lucky coin back." Yeah, right. You kidding?
How much is it going to take for me to keep this? He's like, "No, you're upsetting the balance of nature. Now give it."
You're going to end up hurting somebody close to you, like your chauffeur. Eddie has a chauffeur now?
Yeah. That's what he takes very serious. But to like convince him too, he's like showing him the front page of a paper. It's like, "Look what you're doing to the horse races, man. Like, people who bet on the sure wins are losing, and the crazed drug dealers are getting all this money because they're making wild guesses."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, just one more time, dude. Like, I can't wait to see Jack's conceited face drop in the agony of defeat.
Did you notice the second skeleton is back, by the way, behind Eddie?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it randomly appears throughout the show. Yeah,
Mhm.
it doesn't ever move.
He's like, where does it end, man? I'll tell you where it ends once I beat Jack Evans at Mutant Monsters.
Yeah,
Monsters, and rushes off and
Monsters.
high fives Leonard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm. This show has made it so hard for me to say monsters. I will be honest. 100% in my daily life, whenever monster comes up, I will say Munster first.
It's
So,
hilarious. Well, when I tell people, like, I'm like, yeah, I got a Munster podcast, and they're like, oh, I like monsters. What one? And I'm like, no, Munster, like the Family Guys. Like, come on,
not the Family Guy, but yeah.
the family.
So now we're
There's
back at the
only two families. There's the Mafia and the Munsters.
back at the arcade ice cream parlor juice bar.
Mhm.
Jack comes up asking Eddie why he's been filling Stephanie's head with stories of how he's a teenage Donald Trump.
But he's
Eddie-
sitting here before this. Jack is sitting here with another girl who turns to look back. I don't know if she was supposed to turn and look back, but she clearly wanted some screen time.
Hmm. Hey, grab it while you can.
But yeah, go ahead. You can do the line for Eddie right here after he's called the teenage Donald Trump.
I can't be Trump. I have a positive cash flow. So I had to look this up. It's widely documented about all of
Yeah.
his bankruptcies. So I had to find out where exactly this fell in his timeline. This was when his Taj Mahal casino opened in 1990. 6 months later, it was in the red and filed for bankruptcy in 91. So this has to be what they're referring to because it's before his other two casinos had to file in 92.
Can I tell
And-
you something though?
Yeah.
He still had a positive cash flow.
Oh, he did. The casinos didn't.
Yeah. This is what
Actually, he may not have because he did lose a lot of money during that time.
Yeah, but what wealthy people do is they put everything into companies and stuff. It's kind of like net worth and all that, like where Elon's net worth is X amount, but like if the stock drops, his net worth drops too on stuff. That's where you got like his net worth was like 400 and some billion, and it dropped down to like 300 and some when Tesla dropped down like 100 billion or some bullshit.
Maybe, but I just know that even today, his current net worth isn't as much as it was in like the 80s and stuff when he got all that from his dad. But fun fact, I believe the Taj Mahal became the Hard Rock Hotel. But I've never been to Vegas and only ever wanted to go for the Who's Line show, but then it came back to TV and they canceled it again. So
yeah. I wanted to go to Vegas just to see the 50 Cent show that he was doing there, but I don't think he has residency anymore. It was a very short term that he did.
It was a missed opportunity for him to hand out 50-cent coins with his face. That's marketing. Like, how do you not do that? All right.
Yeah.
So,
well, which he should have done is like 50 Cent on the one side and Ja Rule crossed out on the other side because he
like a two-face coin.
Yeah, stay petty. I love 50 Cent's like it's not pettiness, but it is pettiness, and I love it. Like I'll never forget the story of him buying all the front seats in Ja Rule's concert just so that it was empty when he came out.
I'm not into rap or hip hop, but when they blow up, it is somewhat entertaining. I won't lie.
Yeah,
because there's constant fights. I
think 50 Cent is still one of the best guys out, and he doesn't even do music that often anymore. You know, he does. He produces shows and acts and stuff like that. I don't know why I said act like that, but he does more acting and all that stuff. But his humor is awesome because he doesn't care about like the sides and stuff like that. He'll make fun of everybody, and I love that about him. Like he has no restraint on who he'll make fun of, which is awesome. He makes fun of himself sometimes. Like I'm like, that's what you got to do. He would have been a great stand-up comedian, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
He probably would have got shot on stage again, but
You ready
could
to get
take
into?
it. Yeah,
You
let's
ready to get into
this.
the chaos? So Jack's like, is it true you have a date with her? And he's like, yeah, you can leave me alone now. Jack's
Yeah.
like, no. I'm in a terrible mood already because having to replace all my tires on my car this morning. And he's like, oh, you didn't have enough staff to do it for him? He's like, that's it. You, me, parking lot now. And then he's like, better idea. You, me, arcade cabinet now, like a child instead. And Jack's like, go for it. I don't
He
have
looks
to
like a
knuckle.
younger version of U.S. Agent.
He does. Go for it. I don't have to hurt my knuckles beating you now.
For people who don't get that reference, U.S. Agent is in the new Thunderbolts. He was in the Falcon Winter Soldier show. He's played by Wyatt. Is it Wyatt Russell?
Yes, he is from the comics. He is a Captain America who was a failed project. His serum left him a bit unstable, and he was an asshole before he took it.
Yeah. His parents are, of course, Kurt Russell and then Goldie Hawn as well.
Yes. Yeah. The actor portraying him. Yeah. Not in the comics.
Yeah. I mean, his dad is Ego, so.
Not in the. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. So we're confusing people who don't know comics. So, yeah, they make the deal. He's like, when I beat you, you're not allowed to talk to Stephanie for a month. I'm like, dude, she's not property. So Eddie,
this is like a very Grease thing going on right here. Like a very oh, you can't talk to this chick if I beat you at this car race.
So Eddie takes out his coin, kisses it. Yeah, I bite my thumb at thee.
Yeah.
He pulls out his coin, kisses it, and for a second I thought he was going to put it into the machine, but no, he puts another quarter in. Yeah. He then begins racking up the score in no time as people around him start suffering. First,
I thought Jack was going to steal his coin.
I don't think he knows about the coin. Everyone else does. A kid falls down. Jack sits on a pizza. A light explodes and nearly falls on a boy running in to tell everyone to check out the laundromat that exploded with suds. You hear cop cars in the background. Some machine pumps out rubles. I think it's the washing machine still.
Yeah.
All the parrots escape the pet store and are swearing at people in the streets. That one doesn't sound so bad, and I'd love to see that one. Al's mixer loses its lid and sprays all over him. That could have been worse. Another kid comes in telling him he's destroying the whole town. Old people are hitting each other in the park. Cops are trapped in the donut shop. I've never heard of such filth from parrots. Hackman explodes. The kitchen explodes, and Al comes running out. Eddie, stop. I've saved up years for this. You're going to burn it to the ground, dude.
You're going to ruin me. You're going to ruin me. And he's like, just one more. And then he finally gets a conscience and stops.
Yeah. And then Jack, I knew he couldn't beat me. And literally everyone stares at him except for this one girl who turns to the camera smiling.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you look at it, everyone kind of gives him a look like, dude, you're an a-hole, except for one girl who has a smirk.
Yeah. Anything to get the attention.
Yep. So
there are background actors who try and
get
overdo certain things, and if it's caught beforehand, they will get fired. I'll let you know that. I've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm. Unless you leave a Starbucks cup in the middle of the biggest show HBO has.
Wasn't that like a period piece show?
It was Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And then they digitally edited it out. It looks even worse because you could tell there's something wrong with that space.
Yeah.
Just leave it in. That's fun. Errors in stuff are fun to spot. You don't have to remove them.
So then we get go into the house again. Ooh, I can't speak today. And everyone's packing up all of Eddie's belongings again.
For some reason. That lets out karma or something. No one explains it.
I don't know. Yeah. Because like he's already has the stuff. The bad stuff has already happened to other
Yeah,
people, so it's not gonna fix anything.
it's not like he used a credit card again,
Right.
or did he?
No, because he had all that cash, that actual cash.
It's
So
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then he gives back Grandpa the coin finally.
Or because of all of his gambling going on, and he stopped using the coin, did some of them force him to go into debt?
Maybe. If Grandpa had this coin, why does his inventions hardly ever work?
Because apparently Grandpa has some kind of conscience, even though he's been a serial killer in literally every iteration of the series.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a pride thing. He's like, no, I want to do it myself. I don't need magic.
Yeah. Maybe. And then
Maybe
Eddie
that's why this
opens
version is more of an alchemist than a magician.
maybe. There's some knock at the door. Eddie goes to the door and opens it. And Stephanie walks on in. And
Oh,
yeah, she really does the overacting with like I think that her overacting of how she's walking is her trying to portray a younger person.
there was a great joke we glossed over too, where Herman's like, "Do we have enough cartons for everything?" And Grandpa's like, "Oh, we have the exact amount. I saved it all just in case this happened."
Yeah. And Eddie's like, you kind of knew this was gonna happen, right? And he's like, well,
Grandfathers
yeah.
have a way of knowing these things.
Yep.
Also, you've abused power in nearly every other chance you've had, so
Stop giving so much power to a 15-year-old.
yeah.
This is what's wrong with a lot of parents nowadays. They give too much power to their little 15-year-olds and younger kids. Like, stop it. This is what happens when they have too much control of the house.
Yeah.
You end up having to do more work to get rid of the shit.
So, yeah, now we're outside with Stephanie.
Yeah.
And she congratulates him on being mature enough not to destroy a whole building over a high score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind all the crazy stuff that happened. That dude's going to go out of business fixing all that stuff anyway. He didn't save anything. So, maybe that's why they're selling the stuff. They got to pay him back.
Maybe. I mean, he technically didn't do it. He didn't cause the damage.
Did he?
He didn't cause the physical damage. Stuff just started going crazy on him.
Because he was abusing magic.
You gotta prove that magic works in this universe, dude.
Eddie admitted it wholeheartedly to the guy.
Yeah, who's gonna believe that guy? The insurance company ain't gonna believe that. They're gonna do anything they can not to pay out anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. She's like, well, I don't know why you're here. I'm not allowed to speak to you for a month. And again, she's her own person, dude.
Yeah.
She says, screw Jack. She wants to give Eddie a chance. And he's like,
Yeah.
are you sure? I'm just a sophomore and I'm broke now. She's, at least you won't be having me wax your car for another 1 year, 5 months, and 2 days. Eddie finishes with 2 days. So this story takes place over 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah. They're always like amassing a good amount of wealth within a few days when they're doing stuff that's bad. Does that I think that's telling us something. Like,
yeah,
you know, when you're corrupt, you can do whatever you want in a short amount of time.
Anyone who has played Monopoly knows this.
Yes.
So yeah, we
I
freeze
win.
frame on them looking at each other in the eyes, and it's just crazy thinking about the age difference and how James Marsden was probably freaking out that he has this scene with the Playboy model.
Who he probably had the Playboy in his trailer anyways.
Probably. Cut to the last scene, and I love this for an ending. I absolutely love it. We got Grandpa on his computer in the lab chatting to Eddie. The green light is like overpowering in this scene.
It's not as much as earlier. So on the screen here on the the video screen here underneath Tivis, guys, there's a image of Eddie with the green light on him from earlier when he was very envious.
It's like Star Wars, kind of like with the red
Yeah.
light on Luke's face as he's contemplating,
So in this scene here, though, at the end, that light, it's supposed to be the same light, but it's very faded now. It's not as bright and like, not translucent, but vibrant.
Dude, I'm so glad I'm doing this with you because that is such a good catch. That's damn. I would have never thought of that. I don't have that mind style of like lighting and stuff.
I miss that when they used to do colored lighting and stuff and everything.
Mhm.
One movie it's really recognizable in is, I want to say it was Highlander 2.
Oh,
They just have
new canceled Highlander series.
well, the original Highlander series, but like there's like a scene in the apartment that I realized it, and they just have like a random purple and a random like green light shining up behind these chairs, and you're just like, what are these lights for? I mean, it looks cool, but what are they for? What are they supposed to be showing? Because there's nothing outside the building that would be giving those lights. What the heck are we doing, guys? But it's so 80s 90s that you just have to love it. When I was doing shorts and stuff like that, I would always use colored lighting and stuff for my background because I was like, I want definition versus just a flat, white background and stuff, which we get a lot of in movies and stuff nowadays. I mean, yeah, they do like shadowing and like a little spit here and there, so it's not as harsh on the eyes, but I like to use color in the background for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you're gonna enjoy Daredevil once you finally start it because they really make good use of that.
yeah,
His apartment building with that
stuff.
neon light. Oh, they do such a cool like. That is a show that I definitely noticed some very poignant use of that light.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So Eddie's like, so what makes a horseshoe, a penny, and a clover have good luck? And Crap is like, no idea. So it's fine. I'll quit asking. And he's like, don't stop asking questions. That's how you learn. And it is a great life lesson. Never stop asking questions. But also, when we have a definitive answer, listen to that. So Eddie's like, what about Lucky's rabbit's foot? And Grandpa thinks for a second, I have no idea. And Eddie's just looking confused, and Leonard's jaw drops as Grandpa continues doing whatever he's doing on the computer. And I'm like, it's extremely wise to admit when you don't know something. Like, too many people today spend so much time pretending they're better than who they really are. Like, you can know your own faults. That is okay. We are all human. We all know certain things to a certain point, and then we don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. And if it's really important to you, like you really want to know, you could take the time to learn. It's never easy to learn new things, but it can be fun and rewarding.
So yes, I agree. Sorry. I was trying to find this spot here in my stuff. The rabbit's foot has a ton of like
of course you got the history
reasons and stuff like that. But one thing is, it's been suggested that the rabbit's foot could be connected to like a European good luck charm called the Hand of Glory.
Oh no.
Which is a hand that's cut off from a hanged man and then was pickled. The Hand of Glory was a man who was hanged for murder, and the hand that they cut off was the hand that allegedly did the murdering, did the deed, the killing.
Yeah, I've heard of the Hand of Glory before. That's
what do they call it? The hand of that made them unalived, as people want to say on the internet now because they're stupid.
Because advertisers are stupid.
I unalived them with my hand. I don't that's stupid. Anyways, I'm watching a show right now about a serial killer, and they have like these TikTok videos and stuff of these people talking about him in the show, and they're like, he is a serial killer. He unalived this person. I'm like, bro, just say he killed them. Like, it's more impactful to just say he killed them because that's what they.
Yeah, but then you can't get advertiser money off that.
They shouldn't be worried about that because in the show, anyways, their real purpose is to bring him out. Anyways,
But then you can't clip it.
so but there are lots of different reasons as to why the rabbit foot is a good luck charm.
Mhm.
Allegedly, it's there was one that I saw that it could bring good luck because it's hell. Let's see here. Uh, the rabbit foot must possess certain attributes, such as having been killed in a particular place, using a particular method, or by possessing particular attributes. So like different looks of the foot, of course. There was one that I had seen that it was like where the foot must be cut off while the rabbit is still alive. There was other ones that were like it's because a rabbit is an animal into which shape-shifting witches such as something, I don't know what the heck that name is, claim to be able to transform themselves. Witches were said to be active at the times of the full and new moons. So it's supposed to be, if it's like a witch, you're taking their magic with you,
Oh, okay.
kind of thing. There was another one where it's like basically because how rabbits steal carrots out of your gardens and stuff, of like your things like that. So it's a foot of a thief kind of thing. So you're taking back that which you have lost. So you're getting your luck back.
So
and
we're
everything.
doing old timey punishments for stealing.
Yeah,
Like cut your
basically.
hand off to animals.
Yeah, basically. There's a ton of them put into like voodoo and all that other stuff too. So, or hoodoo, I guess it would be considered for the folklore stuff. Yeah. Anyways, that's the one I looked up for the rabbit foot because I was actually curious. I was like, why are rabbits feet lucky? Like, why do we assume that? So,
Did
yeah.
you look up the clover and horseshoe at all, or just that one?
I just looked up that one. I did not. I feel like clovers considered lucky due to their rarity.
Okay.
Because you have 4-leaf clover, not just a normal clover. And then
What about horseshoe?
horseshoe, maybe it only is lucky if it came off of a winning horse. Maybe.
Oh, I think
There's
that's it.
horseshoes are considered lucky due to several factors, including their association with blacksmiths, their shape,
Okay.
and their use as a protective charm. Blacksmiths who forged horseshoes were seen as possessing magical powers, and the iron used to make horseshoes was believed to ward off evil spirits. Okay, I can see
So
that.
that came from someone who was just really into his work and wanting to advertise, basically.
Yeah.
Is what that means. Yeah, I got magic. Look at this horseshoe. It'll definitely help your
Well,
horse.
well,
Tell all
back
your
in
friends.
well, you got to remember way back in the day too. I don't know what I know. Like horseshoes nowadays, they can make them out of like a rubber substance and stuff. But back in the day, they were made out of iron, and iron was a material that way back in the day they believed warded off like evil spirits and things like that. So in that
Dang.
aspect, it could be a lucky thing because it's keeping the evilness away from you, kind of. Because but in that aspect, I mean, you could just be like, here's a piece of iron. Like so yeah.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I enjoyed this episode to the point where I'm kind of glad I did not know the actress's past before watching this because it probably would have
It's
made
very
me
distracting.
question it more. Yeah. So but yeah, I like the use of the lighting. I like the use of they don't really do a good PSA, I guess, in this episode where there was a good chance to do one. But
No.
the fact that Grandpa already knew the outcome of what was going to happen, Grandpa, stop doing this to Eddie. But it does seem like Grandpa is teaching Eddie more life lessons than anybody else in the house. So, whereas before in the original series, Grandpa was just
Experimenting on
causing issues. Yeah, experimenting, potentially illegally on a minor. And then Herman had to fix the issue.
I'm pretty sure
and
you can't
problem.
experiment on any age without consent.
It was the 60s. You don't know this.
That's true. We did have a lot less protections in place.
But I do like that aspect of it, the coloring, like I said. Actually giving a reason as to why Lily isn't there, because usually when Marilyn isn't there, they just don't even mention her.
Yeah, she's just not there.
She's just gone. So actually giving a reason why. I would like to know where Lily went. That'd be kind of interesting, because where's Lily going? She hasn't
2
worked, so
weeks.
it's not a business trip.
Maybe
So
she's
maybe
going back to the family.
yeah, maybe back to the homeland, and meeting people up or something. Or maybe the mummy came back alive somehow and she's taken 2 weeks off with him.
He does come back every how many years?
I think it's every
forget.
100 years though.
I
I think 100 or 200, something like that. Yeah, but it was kind of like an enclosed episode with Eddie. I like the new set piece. I hope we see it at least one more time before the show's over. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
And Eddie kind of came to the conclusion by himself, which I think is a good thing because he's learning.
Mm-hmm.
You think he would learn a lot faster, seeing that he's kind of been in this scenario before.
At least 2 other times.
Yeah. And it was an interesting shift too, to have the girl actually recognize that he did something good. Be like, hey, you're not a piece of crap like my other boyfriend, and you're not gonna make me wash a car at least for another year and 4 months and whatever.
2 days. Yeah.
So yeah, she it was cool because even though we don't see her transition and stuff, but you see her kind of taking her power back, because this guy is basically claiming her as a possession, like telling her what she can and can't do, what she has to do for him, things like that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool to see her kind of take that power back, but at the same time, it would have been interesting to see a little bit of a story arc with that, rather than just Eddie getting whatever he wants all the time, because we see that in every episode that's an Eddie episode.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like even the mind reader Eddie, you had what was the other one?
There was the one where he took pills and became super strong.
Super strong Eddie. That was in the first season, yeah.
Yeah.
You had mind reader super strong Eddie. You had Wish Eddie, right? Did he get Wish?
Yeah, where he wished for that model.
Yeah. So, and there's lots of other ones too, where it's like Eddie just gets what Eddie wants and then has to learn a lesson. So, what did you think though?
So this one, I had a lot of fun with it. I'll be honest. You're right. There isn't a lesson, but I also don't think you need a lesson in every single episode.
Well, see, I do think there is a lesson here. It's just not like pushed into your face PSA style.
I think it's just character growth for Eddie, not so much a lesson for the viewer.
I think so. This is my take on the lesson here, is that if we don't watch how we are trying to get to the level of, fame or fortune or wealth or whatever it is, that somebody could get hurt along the way.
You almost did the intro to One Piece.
I don't even know that intro. The One Piece. Who wants the One Piece? My wife said something about that. She's like, "Can you grab that One Piece there?" I was like, "The One Piece? You found the One Piece?"
So I didn't mean to disrail you, but
but no. But yeah, I think that the lesson really is to watch who you're stepping on to get to where you want to go in life. That's what I took from it. I might also be reading into it way too much with like things in the real world aspect and stuff. I mean, which you should be able to do that. But I'm not sure an audience back in the 90s necessarily would have seen that a whole lot. But I do think that a version of humans back then probably would have seen that story, being like, oh, hey, maybe I should be careful of what I do to get to where I want to be, just in case it's going to hurt all these people while getting there. Stepping stones, basically. Like, let's not use everyone as a stepping stone to get to our comfort zone. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
So.
But I tell you what
Yeah.
really pushed this one over the top for me was all the continuity. We got Marilyn acting. We got Eddie's like place where he buys his clothes coming back up. We got stuff throw out lines like the motor oil.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it's like someone actually paid attention, and I think that might be the benefit of having a director direct almost every episode this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm like, if we had stuff like this throughout the entire 3 seasons, I would love the show even more than I do now. And I already loved the continuity references much more because they actually existed in this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of episode that I was hoping to see before we ended the show. So if they got any more of these coming up, I will be so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you say, dude, I never really thought about it, but the original series doesn't have a whole lot of continuity within it. It's just very
No, it was so rare. That's why I had to mention it whenever it did come up, and it was probably accidental when it did.
Like it was one thing I noticed, like, and they do it in a lot of sitcoms, is they kind of forget what they said or did or a storyline previous beforehand. But when they do those little bits of like throwbacks or callbacks or whatever you want to call them to a previous episode, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they did that. Like, yeah. Like finishing King of Queens the other week and stuff. I was just like, well, that's kind of cool. They brought this person back. They brought this person back. They did a callback to this story. They didn't bring Raymond back in the very last episode.
They didn't bring back the character that the show is a spinoff of?
Yeah, no. Or a producer of. Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely loved this one. This was so fun. It was real weird knowing the actress, but I think to her credit, she
knocked it out, dude.
Yeah, she did. She came across as a ditzy teenager.
Yeah, I never would have thought the actress was in her 20s at all. Like, and I've seen movies and stuff where the actors were in their 20s, sometimes in their 30s, trying to play high schoolers and stuff. And sometimes you could tell, sometimes you can't. And that's a really good aspect of acting. So I'm kind of curious. I'll try and check out some of her like Hallmarky, I guess, Christmas movie things this coming season.
Yeah, I gave you a whole new series, the sports thing, Miracle of Christmas or whatever.
Yeah. See, the ones I've been watching, we watched a lot of were ones that had actresses in it from Mean Girls. To be fair, because several of those actresses went into like the Hallmark era. So, there's even one where like it is, what is her actual name? Well, one of the one actress, oh crap, I can't even remember her name, and I love her too. Crap, this is gonna kill me. No, I have to figure this out while we're on here because I can't.
You tell your story, I'll look it up. What was her character's name?
So it is going to be she's in Lost in Space, the movie. It is Lacey Chabert. There it is, Lacey Chabert. She was one of the Pinks in Mean Girls, and so there's a movie that she's in. Sorry guys, this is totally off topic. Most of my things are. But she was in one of the movies, and on the TV screen was a movie that Lindsay Lohan was in. And she looks at the TV screen and she goes, or it might have been vice versa, I don't remember. But she looks at the TV screen and goes, oh, she looks like a girl I went to high school with. And it made me laugh because it's like a throwback to the Mean Girl stuff. It's like, oh, that's kind of funny.
I'm telling you, you should watch the new Mean Girls with your wife. She'll enjoy it.
We went and saw the play of it. Went and saw a play of it for a high school, but yeah.
No, you should definitely watch the new movie.
Does the new movie
have
the coach sleeping with the teenagers?
I believe that got cut out
because that was something that they definitely left out of the high school play. Because I was wondering when we got to there, I was like, I wonder if they're going to cut this part out.
I believe that was removed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I know they cut like a lot of like the race groups out too, like your Asian groups and stuff like that for the high school play anyways.
Yeah,
It
they modernized the new one as well. It's no
Yeah,
longer that. It's like actual clicks, like the nerds, the
the
chess
goths
team,
and yeah,
yeah, stuff like that.
emos. Yeah,
Mhm.
cool. Anyway, sorry guys about that. It's just we love talking about this kind of stuff. I do want to mention, don't forget to go and check out our store, guys, because we do have some awesome shirts there right now. If you want to check them out, we have like it's all new merch there. It's going to be themunstercast.com/merch. I'm showing some images on the screen right now for some of the guys there watching at home right now as well. So definitely check them out. There's even ones from the mini Munsters up there too. So definitely grab those, guys. And that's all I got today, Tivis. Any final words? Oh wait, we are also still looking for if you want to be a sponsor. That way you don't have to hear these random ads and stuff. We can kind of get rid of those. Definitely contact us at themunstercast@outlook.com for that. I should probably say that at the beginning of the episode. Anyways,
Maybe next week.
yeah, next week. Yeah, and again, like Tivis said, for everybody out there, we hope you had a good Memorial Day, and hope you enjoyed our extra
Mhm.
week break, because we might be taking weeks off here or there with the summertime coming up and everything too.
Yep. We got one more thing to do, Mike.
What's that?
What is next
Oh
week?
yeah, what is next week? What are we talking about? Or next episode? If I only knew now. Oh,
Young Herman's back.
I think it's going to be a Herman teaching an Eddie lesson.
Actually, with how much this show is focused on Grandpa, maybe it'll be young Grandpa.
We need a Herman episode lately, though, because we've had everybody else, like minus Herman and Lily.
Lily really hasn't had a whole lot this season.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I looked at the writers for this one.
Okay.
Alan Moskowitz is back from The Real Munsters in Large, writing the teleplay, but the story comes from Craig Kellum, who this is like his third writing credit ever. He's credited for creating the concept of domestic life and Charles in Charge.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
this is going to be an interesting one, whatever.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's next time, guys. If I only knew now. So yeah, definitely check it out before we talk about it, guys. All right, Tivis, any final words today?
Be kind to yourself, be kind to others.
Yeah. And respect the Constitution.
Don't sit at the front of the theater, you'll hurt your eyes.
Or the back of the theater. Watch the dang movie. Stop making out. All right, guys.
I do have one. I was on the Munsters Reddit, and there's a user, Warner Todd Hudson, who is putting out these fantastic collages of all the cast from the various Munsters. So far, he's got Herman and Grandpa out. So much better than the ones that I made like a year ago. Like, these actually look great. I've been sharing them on our Facebook. Go check them out. Give the guy a like on there. Great stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, with that all said, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
Myke and Tivis got love.